I'm Derek Fudesco, and this is Couch Riffs Podcast.
See, that was perfect.
All right, yeah.
Hey, everyone. I'm your pal, Mike Squires, and this is the Couch Riffs Podcast, episode number 294. 294. I could have never imagined doing this for this long, yet here we are. I appreciate you taking this ride with me. Today's episode features my conversation with Derek Fudesco, who I met in, 1994 must have been, probably 4, maybe 5, 4 or 5, I don't know. It was a long time ago. 30 years, I guess. I guess it was 30 years. Derek is most known for playing bass in Murder City Devils, as well as playing guitar and bass in the Cave Singers and playing bass in Pretty Girls Make Graves. All of those bands have met with a fortunate level of success. I know, in our, it sounds like Derek did the things that he wanted to do. Still playing music. We talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about the life of touring. We talk about life after touring. We talk about, animal resurrection, spirit transfer. We get into all kinds of stuff here. I hope that you enjoy the conversation. I think Derek is a great fella, and I'm glad that after a long time we finally got the chance to sit down here in the studio and talk. So I hope you enjoy. Now, more than ever, I want to remind you of the golden rule. More than ever. I've been saying this for years. Treat people the way you want to be treated, but more than ever, treat people the way you want to be treated. It's the right thing. Do the right thing. Also, support me on Patreon.
Yeah.
Salty.
Charm.
Welcome to the Couch Riffs Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Look at us.
Mm-hmm. Look at us.
I've known you for 30 years.
Yes. 95, yeah.
For sure.
1995.
Is that when you were working down there on First Ave?
I started in 94, but I wouldn't have met you in 94 because I was working graveyard. So
Right.
in 95 is when I got the suite shift.
Boy, that would
I
have
got
been
that morning
quite
shift.
a shift. What? Can we talk about that for a second? Have you
Yeah.
ever talked about it
I mean, not really, no.
What a gig. So Derek and I met when I worked in the Pike Place Market as a produce person, and he would come and buy fruit from me on his breaks with always with change.
It was changed. At that point, I primarily dealt in change.
And I was like,
One of the perks.
where do you work at? Do you want to tell the folks where you worked at?
Yeah,
and
no,
what
I
your
worked
job
at,
was?
I worked at I moved to Seattle in 94, and I was looking for a job, and I was downtown, and I saw that there was a Lusty Lady, and I had lived in the Bay Area, and I had a couple friends who had worked at the San Francisco Lusty Lady, and it was a woman-owned peep show, and they hired a lot of artists and musicians, and so I applied there, and I got the job. But that was 94. We wouldn't have met because I got the worst job. So I was like, I would come in at 11 and I'd get off at 7, and then in 94, and then in 95 I got the suite shift, which was like 7 to 3. And then I'd come and get fruit from you.
Right.
I'd get a chunk of Jarlsberg and then some fruit.
At the
Pay with
cheese.
quarters.
Right. Oh, God.
Yeah, they were clean.
How long did you work there?
I'm pretty sure that I worked there for, I think I worked 94, 95, and 96 is I think when Murder City Devils started touring heavy, and that's when I quit. It's a wild ride.
Amazing.
It was a wild ride.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we met then,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both us, the same us that is now, just a younger, maybe more precocious version of ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, you know, I'm curious what your memory is, but I feel like we would just laugh at each other.
Yeah.
Like I would get there and like, I mean, you had kind eyes, I could tell right away, but like we would just be like laughing at each other and you would,
We were kind of make fun of each other and laugh at each other,
but didn't know
but
each other at
also
all. But that was the
no.
relationship. And it was daily. It was like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when I found out where you worked, and I was just like, good Lord.
Yeah.
But I saw one of the early, not first, but I think probably first 5 Murder City Devils shows.
Where would that have been?
The show was at the Sit and Spin, and it was a weekday, and there were about 25 people there. It was early.
Yeah, that
but
was early.
you had a 7-inch out, because I bought it.
Okay. That would have been the Empty Records 7-inch.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'd been a band a little bit by that point.
What was that?
I think
dance hall music?
I think it was the Dance Hall Music 7-inch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In attendance were mostly people that I recognized from Capitol Hill bars, and then girls who I recognized that also bought fruit at the fruit stand, but I didn't know that they were probably mostly girls that danced at the Lusty Lady.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, trying to remember these shows.
Right.
I mean, I got along really well with the people I worked with. Like I had good friends there. And so like, yeah, obviously like, you know, and at that point I just wanted, I'm like, come see my band. My band's playing.
That's the routine.
to everybody.
There was no social media.
Yeah. No, of course. So,
right.
Yeah. Like hang the flyer in the back.
Go to Kinko's.
Yeah. Yeah, there was, yeah.
So you grew up in Oakland, is that right?
No, I wouldn't say I grew up there. Like I lived there for a couple of years, like a year and a half. I moved. I was from the East Coast, upstate New York.
Where?
Syracuse.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in Clay.
Okay.
And my mom moved my brother and I. She was like, "We're going to California." Like we're going to California, you know what I mean? Like beach.
Yeah.
And then she took us to Fresno, California, which
is different.
I mean, it's basically like fig trees.
Yeah.
Desperation.
It's
violence.
Well, yeah.
But she took us to Fresno, and so I lived, that's where I like went to junior high. And I left early. I think I moved. I got really. I had a friend in Fresno who sort of turned me on to music, and that was just like, you know, it was like that classic moment, just like, oh fuck, this is what I want to do. And I got really into a lot of the East Bay bands, and so we would go up. We'd go up to Gilman and see shows, and then I want to say that I'm.
So East Bay punk, not East Bay thrash.
East Bay punk, yeah. Like like Crim Shrine, and Operation Ivy.
Not Exodus.
No. No, different. Yeah, I guess different.
Yeah, different flavor.
Different flavor. Yeah. So when I moved there, I think I moved there in. I think I was 16 when I moved there, and I was only there for like just about 2 years, and then met someone from Seattle down there, and then I didn't like Seattle. I hitchhiked around the U.S. and when I came back from that trip to Oakland is when I met this person who was visiting, and we really hit it off. And then she lived in Seattle, but I was like, oh, I don't really like Seattle, so I'm going to move to Portland. And so I moved to Portland to be closer to Seattle. I know, it's really wild. But I liked Portland at the time. Like Portland, Portland in '94 was wild. I mean, it was like...
Yeah.
A wild city. So I moved there, but I lived there for about 6 months and couldn't start a band. And I just could. I mean, it was like I was working at like a paper recycling plant, and that's all I was doing. And just like, it was a very small scene and a very tight scene, and it was really hard to like anyone that I met. I was like, oh, you want to jam sometime? Or you want to play? It was like, I don't have time, or like, yeah. so then I moved to Seattle, and this is a wild thing, is that the day that I moved to Seattle, I met uh, Spencer at a party at a
Really?
house, and yeah, there's a place called the Jalapeno House in the U District, and we talked for like, I mean, like a half an hour, and it was like we started a band. And it was like right the minute I moved to Seattle.
Had he been in a band before?
I think him and Dan had been trying to play in bands before. Dan and Andrea had been in a band before together. And so this is like this core group of people I met within the first week. Within the first week, I was at a band practice. I met Dan, Andrea came in, Spencer was there, and that was like,
it was meant to be.
I mean, dude, totally. It was like, yeah, it was wild. I mean, that's like that all
After
happened
how
within
long
the first
were you
week.
in Portland?
I was in Portland for about 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
And no dice.
No.
You got to Seattle, Snake Eyes.
I had the jackpot. I mean, I still make music with all of them, you know, like it's wild. Like they're lifelong friends, and you know, like,
how crazy.
Yeah, really neat.
And so how long did it take for you? I mean, you guys, that first week you were getting together, writing music. That was 94, you said?
That was 94, yeah. Right away. And that was a band called Area 51. They all lived in a house called the Goat House, which is like, it's like a $2 million house on 34th. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, 4 stories, looks over, you know, the mountains. But that was just like the
in
punk
94.
houses. Those are the houses, yeah. So like, they had a basement, like the best basement, that had a separate entrance and used it as a practice space.
Was it one of those basements that had like 9-foot ceilings?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't 9 foot, but it was like, it was ideal. It was like a showroom. You know what I mean? It was like you could have they had shows there, obviously. And so we just started, that band started, Area 51, immediately just started playing. Like, that was like, we toured, put out a record. And then it was just kind of like.
But that band wasn't what became it, that evolved into Murder City Devils.
No, it was a journey. So Area 51 played, made a record, toured the West Coast. Spencer quit the band, and the rest of us still wanted to play. So we became the Death Wish Kids, and then that band put out a single, toured the West Coast.
That's a great name.
The Death Wish Kids?
Yeah.
Dude, we stole it from, I mean, it was like, there's like a Poison Idea connection, but then there was also like, I mean, we kind of stole the name.
Right.
but that band went for a while, and then our drummer was this dude Sterling, and this is still 94. Like, man, a year back then was like 6 years.
Because you were young.
It
took up a much greater percentage of your life.
It was the whole thing. Yeah. It was that Sterling would like in our tours would play a lot of garage bands, and that's like I didn't know anything about it, and it was music that I wasn't familiar with, but like it hit really hard. And so like Murder City came, like Spencer, we wanted to play with Spencer again, and then kind of with all this influence of like Gories and Teen Gen, like all these things that Sterling was playing, we were like, oh, we want to start a band, because Death Wish Kids was a hardcore band, Area 51 was a hardcore band. We were like, we kind of want to like totally pivot and like play, like try something different. And so Murder City started as a band called the Hookers, and it was Andrea on drums, Spencer singing, Dan on guitar, me on bass. So it's just kind of like we just moved around. And that band, like, we really went for it. We were like, okay, we're going to get like these matching shirts that say the Hookers. And it's like, and it was basically half of the first Murder City record are all Hooker songs. And we recorded with a friend who, I think it was a 4-track recording, and that was like the only thing that we had. And then
you still have your cassette?
We put it out on vinyl.
You did?
We did. We put out the Hooker songs. Yeah.
later,
Yeah,
or
later. Because it's really like I'm sure you're the same way, but like I'm a real sucker for like the origin, like like the demos. You know what I mean? Like
demoitis is a real thing,
it's a
and
real thing, dude. Like
was it hard for you to let go of certain, like, did the songs evolve when they became devil songs?
they did a bunch of other things happen. Like Brandon, we brought in someone who started playing Farfisa, and then we met Cody. Dan met Cody. I think Dan met Cody at a party, and then like Cody came in, started playing drums.
Too bad
and
you
then,
guys couldn't find a more killer drummer. Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, Cody was. It was that sort of like switch is when like it all was like, we're gonna do this a lot more. Like
Yeah.
this is like we want to tour. We want to like that's like the first U.S. tour that I ever did. Like that was kind of like we're gonna just like play as much as possible and just kind of like write and make it our lives. You know, that was sort of like the feeling of that when that happened. But
It felt, as an outsider and watching, of course it's always different on either sides of the glass, right? But like, as an outsider, it felt like things blew up, but probably because, there wasn't a week that went by when you guys weren't mentioned in The Stranger. You were definitely favorites in Seattle, but you still had the same work ahead of you, traveling around touring. Did you guys also leave the country?
we did. Our first U.S. tour was like brutal, obviously, like
Always.
anyone's U.S. tour, and it was really, really, really long. And I do want to address the Stranger thing because that was super weird, and like it was a thing that was it was relentless.
Yeah.
And I think that I want to say that it didn't have any effect on me, but I think it messed me up a little bit. And I think that like it would have been interesting to see the other path. You know what I mean? Like without it.
Right, not having any media support.
It wasn't. It was a tabloid. You know what I mean? It was like
Sure.
it didn't. It was very. It almost was like.
Oh, that's right. It was.
It was almost
like,
set up to be like.
What was the thing? So for people who don't like, it's all actually coming back to me because in my memory, I'm just like, well, they were just in The Stranger all the time. But there was an article.
No, there was like a weekly tabloid, and it was like.
Like who made out with someone or some weird shit like that.
I blocked a lot of it out, but yeah, is like someone who has like crippling anxiety with like interviews or like reading things that I say in press or like here, it's like
Right.
It was just brutal, like that constant. But it probably did. Honestly, like it probably is what got us, signed to Sub Pop. Like I'm sure they were like, oh, we could sell this, like this.
Like you guys were also
the tabloids are pushing.
You're also willing to work, like you were out working. Like,
that
is something that is sellable.
Totally. But at the time, it's like look at the Sub Pop's roster at the time that they signed us. Like it was
right.
It didn't make a lot of sense. Like it was pretty different.
Who was even on the label at that point? It was like
it was
Sebadoh.
I think it was very. It was just like a lot of indie rock, and like it wasn't. There was nothing that was like
Skyline.
That. Yeah, like there was nothing like what we were playing for them to. They didn't even sign us. They created a label to see if it worked, and then signed us.
Right,
which is kind of funny.
Well, whatever works, right?
Totally. Yeah.
I asked Spencer this question. And I'm going to ask you. He had an interesting and very Spencer answer. And, he's Spencer. He's the greatest.
He's the best. Yeah.
But, looking back at that time, because it was pretty, like, the imagery at least, like, I knew you as the dude that handled the mop down at the Lusty, and we would make jabs and have some yucks, right? And you eventually moved into my old house on Bellevue and Roy.
That's wild. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Magical house.
Unbelievably
Magical
cool
house. Yeah.
Um,
First 3 Cave Singers records were written there
yeah.
in that basement. Magical house. Yeah.
Was the record lathe still down there?
It was. She took it out. I want to say she took it out within the first month that we moved in. But like when we first went in, it was like, oh my God.
Right.
And
You're
then
like, what if we can get this
all
thing
the
working?
jazz acetates. Like,
unbelievable.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The vibe around the band was very much like we're a gang, switchblades and cuffed jeans, right? and like when like I guess we all get older. Like some people never change, some people evolve. But when you look back at that time, how do you feel?
Like I'm super proud of everything that I did.
Yeah.
And like did with everyone. And I think that I can look back on it with a sense of humor. And like I only speaking for myself, you know, like I think that yeah, it was just like, I mean, it was like I wanted to think that we were a gang. Like I wanted that. And like that's
Sure.
yeah, for sure. Like that was like, you know, that was
Spencer
it.
kind of said the same thing in his
Yeah.
in his own way.
Yeah, no, I mean it's yeah, like for sure. I think that when you find people like that can create something it's like the luckiest thing in the world, you know. And it's like it's being able to like that. When I look at that sort of, you know, everything sort of happened, you know, in a way, like deciding to move to Seattle, deciding to go out that night, like meeting Spencer. Like I probably would have met Spencer, but it was just like, it's just all the way that it just sort of happened. It's like, it's
lightning
it's strikes. Like the universe was just like, it's just like, this is, you need to go this way.
Yeah. You were clearly a music fan.
Yeah.
And I've never met a well, I guess I have met some musicians who are not necessarily music fans or music listeners, but the 3 bands that you are most known for are wildly different from one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty Girls, you said you were in hardcore bands before. It's sort of more post-hardcore, yeah? What would you call it?
You know, I don't like, I think that, I guess, yeah, post-hardcore probably would make sense. Pretty Girls was really interesting because it was when you know, the Hookers sort of just like kind of fell apart, and then Murder City started. Murder City took, I mean, we wrote, you know, obviously like we took the songs that we had wrote as Hookers and made the Murder City because they're still our songs. And it was still like, it kind of did Andrea dirty, like, cause she was the drummer and we basically like got a drummer and a keyboard player and then reformed. And Andrea and I were trying to start a band through like the life of the first few Murder City Devils records. Like, and we played with a bunch of different people and it just never really clicked. And I would be on tour a lot. And when I would come home, we would, you know, play with different people. And then we found like we played with Nick, who brought in Nathan, who brought in Jay. And when we all got in a room together, it was just like all of a sudden, and those like that writing style for me at the time was, I don't listen to a lot of that like post punk. Like I was at the time, like I was obsessed with like pop punk. Like I was really into like Discount at that particular time in music. Like,
yeah.
So that's kind of like where I was like leaning, is like, I want to play more like, you know, pop, this kind of stuff. And, but Jay, like a lot of those songs, the way that they would write, was in a new style for me. So like different time signatures and like, I, you know, Murder City Devils were like, you got a cool riff, and then you add a bridge, and then another maybe, and then and that's it.
That's
Let's
the
go.
song.
You know what I mean? Like that's a
Right.
song, and it's like, and so
Make it tough.
Make it tough, yeah. And this was like a new way of writing, and so that was like really interesting. But I was also just kind of like, I'm going to see where I can fit in what I can do, and then learn. And so it was wild looking back on Pretty Girls on what we made, because even Pretty Girls made 3 records, and all 3 of them are wildly different. Like, you know, just so that band was just kind of like this constant motion of like figuring out how to take 5 very strong writing people
Energies.
and put
Right.
and put them into every song. Like I mean, I don't feel like anyone took a backseat in any of those songs, and so it's really wild to listen to sometimes, because it's just like, you know, there's just a lot of
That's pretty rare, I think.
madness. It is. No, it is, and it's cool, because that's also like, that was, you know, that band was like my Andrew and I were together. So it was being in a relationship with the person that you're touring with, and you know, that just adds a different dynamic. And
Sure.
so when that band was touring a lot, and it was, I mean, there was a lot more challenges than I had been used to, and so it was kind of wild to go. And when we broke up hard, and it was like, this is it, we're done. 20 years later, and then we got back together and play shows, and it's really funny, because like, we just did this last year where we got offered a festival, accepted the offer, and then we got a couple club shows that we played kind of around it. And dude, it was the best getting together with these people, and like, you know,
Right.
like, just, it was so rad. Like 20 years had gone by, and like playing, and like it was funny, myself included, just like everyone kind of being like, man, what the hell am I doing on this? You know what I mean? Like what's like trying to figure out songs, like, what, dude, what? Like, yeah.
Were you guys a couple during the earliest times of the Murder City days?
Yes.
Do you think that plays into, like, were other people in the band concerned about having a couple in a touring van?
You know, that's a great question. It's not something I think I've thought of before. I also, my timeline there is, I think we had started dating by hookers. So I mean,
Something I would probably
yeah.
be concerned about.
No, of course,
You know.
course. I mean, later on, like, I mean, it's awesome to be able to tour with your partner, but then it's also like the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's both things. Right. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
you're already married to however many people are in the band, essentially, right?
Dude, totally. And it's like, I mean, I'm taking her side 100% of the time.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
you're obligated to.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's right.
Yeah. But if you want to, I mean, if you kind of like, just kind of want to jump the journey of like how these 3 bands are so different, to me, it makes a lot of sense in my mind. Like, it's like, you know, Murder City Devils, Pretty Girl started while we were still touring, and then Leslie quit the band, Murder City. We had a pretty rough, we were supposed to go play Reading and Leeds for the first time, and we were on the East Coast, had a massive breakup, not a breakup, but Leslie quit, and then we were kind of like, what are we going to do? We kind of came back to Seattle, canceled the shows, and then it was like, the band broke up, and so that's kind of like, Pretty Girls became like the focus, and like putting all the energy into that. And same sort of thing, like, you know, I think Nick quit Pretty Girls, and I wanted to start something way more simple, and I was living with Pete in your house, and we started on the last couple Pretty Girls tours. Pete and I just started like making music. We were called the Bullion Brothers, and it was like a drum machine, bass, Pete singing and like playing melodica and stuff.
Is there a story behind that name?
The Bouillon Brothers?
Yeah.
No, I just like the name. Just coming up. It's
also
hard to name
good.
a band, you know?
It's so hard to name
It's
a
hard
band.
to name. But yeah, is that so that like Bouillon Brothers were kind of going, and then Pete had this little guitar he called Barnacle Umbilicus, and it was a parlor guitar, and I hadn't, at this point I'm only playing bass, and I played something, like I was like just kind of riffing when we were hanging out and kind of writing, and recorded it. And then I was on tour with Pretty Girls, and he had sang on it, and it was the first Cave Singer song, and it was just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Like, this is like, he sent me, it was a song called Belmar, and it was just like so simple, so stripped, but like it just hit so hard.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and then Nick quit Pretty Girls, and Nick was the drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like, we're not going to get a drummer. You know, Nathan had already quit. When Nathan quit, Leona joined the band, and it was awesome. Like, we wrote with Leona, and it became this other thing. But then when Nick quit, it was like, we're not just going to be one of those bands that just like keeps, you know,
right.
Like especially with how everybody was like Nick's a major writer, you know, it's like he's one of those guys that, are you familiar with Nick DeWitt's work? Like any of his solo stuff?
No.
I mean, he's one of those people who like finds a cello on tour at like a garage sale, and then 3 days into it can play cello.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's like so talented. And so, yeah, so when he left, it was like, okay, so then Cave Singers became the main focus. And Pete and I were living together, and so we could just write. Marty lived across the street, and like literally could just write like every day. Like,
right.
We were just in that basement. You know, that creepy, weird basement.
I've been in creepier basement. The basement here is creepier.
Dude, what about when you lived there? Was the weird, old-fashioned baby carriage in the bathroom that didn't work with the lights that were burned out?
Oh yeah, I mean, we would throw parties, and sometimes, I mean, I did my share of drugs in that bathroom for sure.
Wait, the one downstairs?
Oh yeah, I think
dude, that was like a crime scene. We wouldn't even mess with it.
I did drugs in every room in that house, and Lord knows what else. What a oh yeah, youth.
Yeah,
It's wasted on the young. Do you have intentions of making records with new music with any of these three bands?
Pretty Girls, no. That was to get together to play the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Murder City put out a single last year.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
That's stupid.
I don't know. So that band, we had like, I was going down to LA, and Cody has like a killer space, and we would record stuff, send to Spencer. And so out of that, we put out 2 songs. Cave Singers just started working on new music for the first time in years, this late summer, fall. And now, I mean, it's kind of hard because I live on the other side. So we're talking about trying to find a space here.
Will you explain to people what the other side is? I know, but
I live on the other side of the water. So
right.
I live Port Orchard area. Yeah. So it's like a good hour away, you know?
Right. So it's not an old unrecorded song that you guys released.
What, Murder City?
Yeah.
No, it's a new song.
It was a new song.
Yeah.
Was it hard to go back to that place after being removed from, I mean, I know you guys have sporadically done shows,
mm-hmm.
but, you know, getting into that headspace and writing for a specific project band can be a challenge.
Yes, but we don't, like, nobody's going into it writing like it's got to sound like Murder City.
Right.
It's got to, like, when nobody takes that approach. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's keep the original idea of like, you have a riff, and if it's good, and you work on it, and then when it's a song, if it's good, that's
Play
the
it a
song.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's, I'm not like if you put yourself in a situation where you're like, we got to write a song that sounds like Murder City Devils or like whatever,
Right,
whoever,
that's hard.
at this age, like you're also just setting yourself up to fail. Like it's like I'm
Right.
not like I'm not a 21-year-old kid like writing these. It's like what I was writing then is
Sure.
not what I'm writing now. So if you can just like, I think what is most important is just, and this is so, like fucking pizza's delicious, but you gotta like it.
Of
Like
course.
no, you say of course, but that's like, it's writing something that's like, oh, I can't listen to that, or I don't think that's, it's like it.
Then
I
don't
want
do it.
I want to like I got to listen to it, and I'm like I think I'm probably terrible to be in a band with, because like if I don't like it, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to put it in the world. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
what's the point? Like it's,
Well, you have to go up on stage anytime it's performed and
yeah,
try to convince people that you're into it.
and it's also like there's also a lot of songs out there.
Right? Why put one out? Why put a bad one out there?
I mean, why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like it, then it's good and it's out there and someone likes it.
Has that been your opinion forever, or is that something you sort of like acquired along the way?
I think I acquired it along the way, and then I think I became a lot bigger of a critic for myself, and then didn't like things that probably would have squeaked by and been a B-side.
Right.
Like then I'm just like, no, I don't. I'd rather just not.
I have this thing. You can borrow it. You can have it if you want. If I am having I don't have a lot of disagreements. I'm like, I don't know, there's not a lot worth fighting about. Fighting for something or lobbying for something, sure. But if I'm having a disagreement about a decision with someone, if I trust them, you have to trust someone 100%. It sounds like you trust everyone in that band 100%.
Yeah.
You look someone in the eye and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this decision to you? I'll go first. And I'm never a 10.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone is always a 10, they're out. You can't have you can't be 10 about everything.
Right.
No way.
No, for sure.
No way.
For sure.
And then whoever it's more important to, fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's fine.
How much time do they have to tell you?
No time.
Oh, come on.
What? It's you're like, let's say you and me, you're like, here's this guitar line. I'm going to put this guitar line on the song. And you're like, that sounds stupid. And I'm like, no, it sounds cool and angular. It sounds like television. And you're like, no, it sounds like Poison. And then I say to you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how deep is your conviction? 10 being the deepest. If you trust someone and they trust you, it works.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I wouldn't be able to make a decision. I have to have a demo of it, and then I have to obsessively listen to it for 4 days. And then at the end of that, I could be like, okay,
right,
I'm a 10. Or, like I can't,
Yeah. Have you produced music for anyone else?
Never.
No. Has that ever been something that you were interested in?
I don't even know how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
You could just be the Rick Rubin style person. You could just be like the vibe person. That's good, that's bad.
Yeah, like I think that I think it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that because of the way that I've always written. If someone came in and was like, you need to take that part out, you need to do this, I would let me just back up and say there are not a lot of people who I would even listen to that if they were not in the room with me writing. If we were like cutting them a check to come in and say that, it just, I don't know. I'm.
You've never worked with that kind of producer that's been like, this bridge is too long?
Never. I think that, no. I mean, I've had producers make suggestions.
How are those received?
not, I mean, they were, I think I fought on some of them. I think that, like there's Cave Singers worked with Randall Dunn are you familiar with Randall Dunn?
Mm-mm.
I mean, he's super talented, works with a lot of people. Son, I mean, he just works with a ton of people.
Yeah.
Does a lot of soundtrack stuff. He was in that band Master Musicians of Bukkake.
Mm-hmm. Which is also an awesome name.
It's a wild name.
Do you know what was the band that from the Master Musicians of Jujaka?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. I mean, he's so one thing that's funny is like, we made 2 records with him. We made No Witch and we made Banshee. And during No Witch, there were like, he had a lot of suggestions, and he was really heavily involved in like texture and just like sound and tone, and like not structure at all, but like and there were some things that I really like pushed back on. In hindsight, I wish that I wouldn't have. Like, because there are things that later on he did, specifically in tones, and like, like where he made a suggestion. I was like, no, and then later on, when we did Banshee, I was definitely like, like, let's do this, let's do that, and then thinking about some of those suggestions on the No Witch record, have been like, you know what I mean? I should.
Well, lessons,
like,
right?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
When you look back, like, surely you were 20 when you moved here? 21? You were a baby-faced
I was 19.
kid. You were 19.
Here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I left home at 16.
Right.
So I was 19 when I moved here.
Did you say you were in Latchkey Kids in Oakland?
No.
You were a latchkey kid.
What's a latchkey kid? Like, let yourself in?
Yeah, like one of those kids in the 70s, 80s.
My mom. I left home in Fresno to move to Oakland, and then, dude, it's
Were
kind
you
of
in a band in Oakland?
I was in a couple of bands. I was in a band called Tungsten Gat that did a 7-inch,
right?
And I was in a band called Queen Mab that also did a 7-inch. In such a short amount of time too, which is a wild thought. And then there was a band called the Lumps that did a West Coast tour, and I played. Name. I know, they were so good. They didn't have a guitar player, so I filled in on that tour, which was incredible, like super rad. But yeah, when I moved to Oakland, I moved. My friend drove me up and took me to Gilman, and it was just like, had a little bit of couple $100. My backpack. I'm like, I'm ready to do it. And I actually got like, I met someone there at that show the night that I moved there who said that there was a room at the Punks with Presses warehouse. I talked to this person, and they were like, do you need a place to live? Or like, I told them I just moved there, and they're like, oh, I think my friend has a room that just opened up. And it's like $80. I was like, phew. And so I, like, the night I moved to Oakland, was able to like move into this warehouse. It was wild. It's really neat.
You've been pretty lucky.
Yeah. I definitely feel like those sort of jumps, like, really like worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I'd met a lot of really great people at really like crucial times in my life. You know what I mean? Like, because after living in the Bay Area, like, people move there every day. Like, it's like, moving there, meeting someone the night I moved there who helps me get a place, and then it's like, that's it. Like, from there, I meet people that I'm all of a sudden playing in bands with, and yeah, it's.
How do young people do it now? I have no fucking idea. Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many things that seem like it would be so much easier than it was, but also it's like, I can't even pretend to know what it's like to be young and in a band right now and like trying to do anything.
Way.
Like, who knows,
I'm glad I'm old. Listen, the difference between being young and old is like
Well, here we go.
all at the same time vast and very narrow.
Yeah.
But like when you were young, you probably, if you were anything like me, you had a lot of ideas about how your life was going to go and what you were going to be and how, like, and then, as you get older, you realize you don't know shit. And your life is just is your life. You're just kind of cruising or like you're a marble in a groove,
Yeah. I
and
like that.
you're gonna go rolling down that groove. And uh, there are a lot of ways to get across the finish line, and almost none of them are what you thought
Yeah.
they were going to be. What did you think your life would be when you were 21?
21? I mean, I had tunnel vision, dude. I just wanted to be in bands and tour, and I didn't care if you know what I mean? Like I just wanted to tour. I wanted to tour as much as possible. Like play shows, write songs, make records, and tour, and that's it. And like that's all I wanted to do from an early age, from like 16. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like when I left and moved to the Bay Area, like that was what I wanted to do, just play shows and like, be in a band. Moved to Seattle, same thing. It was like, so yeah, I mean that's
It
that's what I
worked.
thought at 21. That's what I wanted to do. Like that's all I wanted to do.
When like touring has drastically slowed down for you,
Yeah,
you're not touring.
I don't tour.
Yeah.
No,
You mentioned having anxiety. Does that play into it for you?
no, no, not at all. I mean, I toured hard for like 20 something years, and it was awesome and it's great, but it's got to the point where like every single thing except for the show I hated. Like checking into a hotel and driving for, like all of the things, just being in a van or being in, whatever. Like I it just, I mean, I had done it for a long time, and like
The
now,
first 10 times you drive through the Badlands, it's the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen.
I mean, dude, it's real. There's just so many, Love's truck stops. Like
Right,
it's just, I mean, it is. You can only drive around the United States so many times.
right.
So it's, but I still, I mean, I still like play shows, and do we just did Chicago, Minneapolis, Austin is kind of like a 3-day run, and like those kinds of things, like touring it, like just doing those type of shows and not being gone for like extended periods of time is like kind of the speed I'm at now.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you happy about it? If you were touring in a bus, would
No,
you be happier?
not at all. I actually I I've only toured in a bus 3 times, and I can't stand it.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's
What do
really
you not
weird.
like about the bus?
Well, the big thing is I'm very tall, and
Oh, right.
so I don't they
Bunks.
don't make bunks that fit me, and so having to not being able to like actually like stretch out, and then also being confined is like
You're
it's
6'4"?
I'm 6'7".
6'7"?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. They do not make that. Like Duff can squeeze into some bunks, but you can't be on any of the budget buses.
No,
No
no, no.
way.
They're terrible.
So
They're
did you
like,
sleep in the back lounge?
no, because that's the other thing. It's like,
Traffic.
there's always, it's like people are up partying, or it's just, it was funny because too, like, it was that thing where it's like, one day we're gonna go on tour on a bus, and then I went on tour on a bus, and I was like, this sucks. Like, this is the worst.
Oh,
And you wake up and it's like you can't do anything. You're like, it's like you're confined. It's like maybe you have to go to the bathroom. Hey, driver, like, can I, like, we're in the middle of nowhere, can we find some place to go? Like, I mean, any, like, food, you're stuck with just like, it's
Well, that's
this is my
there's
experience too.
yeah.
Obviously, it
I
seems like
think
a lot of people really.
most driving is done at night, so you're night driving, and you get to a venue and you wake up at the venue.
That's
Like
also
I
terrible.
like that time
You do?
traveling. Oh, I love it.
Wait, you like to wake up in a venue and it's like you wake up at Soto and there's nothing. I mean, everything's closed. It's like super
I'll
early in the
I'll make
morning.
coffee on the bus,
Yeah.
and then I'll get dressed, and then I'll look at the phone because we have technology. This
I mean,
technology now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I would just wander out. I've never been anywhere where I felt intimidated or afraid for my safety, including Detroit in the 90s. It was just like, I don't, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You can have my wallet if you could take it from me. And maybe I'll give it to you if I think you can and I don't want to get knocked around. But now I'll just look at my phone and be like, give me some coffee. Where's the nice coffee place?
Yeah.
And then if it's within, a mile and a half, I'll walk there. And it's great. It's a great way to get out, stretch my legs, get my blood flowing, and go
Yeah.
get some coffee and see the town,
Yeah.
A lot of times the venues, especially in Europe, are on the out, like
Yeah, they're
not in
far.
a-
They're far out.
not in
Yeah,
an
I mean that was
awesome-
my experiences. They were often those overnights. You would get there and there'd literally be nothing around and
Yeah.
nothing open. And I prefer to drive and then have a hotel and then wake up. But personal.
A lot of
preference.
times hotels are in, like shitty airport hotels or
No,
whatever.
I
and
didn't
you're
know.
like,
Come
wherever.
on, you got to stay in the city.
I mean, where are you going to put your van at?
What do you mean?
And all your gear then? It's just like, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that if the bunks are the major offender, so I
Yeah.
think that if I didn't have that issue, then it would probably be different.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that. That's terrible, though.
Yeah.
But like now, you're a working guy.
Working guy.
You got a gig, right? You work.
I do. I work.
Have you done this gig for a long time? Like while you've been doing music?
No. I kind of like when Cave Singers kind of wind down from touring. That's when I started. I got a job with a local company, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Did you work at Easy Street for a little while?
Yeah.
You worked at Easy Street,
Yeah.
right? On Lower Queen Anne?
I did. Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah. Place was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does life feel now?
How does life feel?
Yeah, man. Just like,
I mean, life feels good.
yeah.
Yeah. Life feels good.
Do you feel like you did everything that you want to do, or do you have some ideas about things you want to do musically? I know you're into hiking.
I mean, I just like musically. Is there stuff? I mean, yeah. Like I think that I still write. Like I still really enjoy writing.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make cool songs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like
The Beatles got away with it when they were the biggest band in the world at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard they're pretty good.
They were okay.
I'm still waiting for my moment to get into them.
They're all right.
I feel like it's coming.
Danny Bland hates the Beatles.
Mm.
Who hates the Beatles?
Hate's such a strong word.
Right. Indeed it is.
Yeah.
So, like, you have instruments in the living room. Are you playing every day? Do you play every day and write every day? Or do you go
I
days
definitely
or
don't
weeks?
write every day, but yeah, like I have guitars that I can pick up at all times.
Right.
I mean, I have a bass and a guitar, like hollow body bass and acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
They're in easy access.
How many guitars do you have in your little station when you play with Cave Singers behind you? It's like it's quite an array, isn't it?
Yeah, I have 3 guitars and a bass.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Last time I saw you guys, it seemed like a lot more.
I mean, that's kind of a lot.
It is kind of
Like
a lot.
But I play one of them's an open tuning, and so I don't want to. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
You gotta have that.
Yeah, like a third of the songs are an open tuning, so that that guitar is what it is. And then the other thing is, when we started, I only played on a nylon.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are a couple of the early songs that just don't sound right on the electric. So
Is it a nylon that you have to sit still in front of a microphone, or does it have some kind of pickup in it?
it's like an electric nylon. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
makes it?
It's a
I'm
Walden.
interested
It's
in
a cheap
that.
Walden.
Is it
Yeah.
cool?
It's great. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I bought it when Cave. So the first few Cave Singer songs I wrote on Barnacle Umbilicus, and then when we started writing more, I was having a real hard time with neck size and just
Right.
like transitioning from being a bass player my whole life to moving to guitars. And I think that I was at Guitar Maniacs in Tacoma,
Yeah.
and just checking out like the electric acoustics, and then the Spanish. I realized like there's a little more space, bigger neck. It
Oh,
was
it's
like,
also a big flat thing, so
yeah,
your big hands.
yeah. So it was like, oh, this totally works better,
Than
as a transition.
than a steel string acoustic.
Yeah. So like all of the early songs, like the whole first record was done on the Walden.
Wow.
Yeah. They're nice, dude.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful. Like I play through an old Fender Bassman, and
Feedback.
if you get, it can. Yeah. You have to get the right sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys played last night and you play tonight.
Yes.
And that's an annual thing?
It seems to be. Yeah. It's like it's not planned. It just seems like we often play. I mean, Tractors are, that's our favorite place to play in town. And it just seems like this one they asked us. We got an email a few months back, and they were like that they had these days open, and did we want to play it? So we said yeah. And then usually we'll just like, oh, we haven't played in a while. Like, well, we should do a show. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
And so it's always a spot.
And I don't know if you finished answering the question. Will you guys record some songs?
So I would like to say yes. I mean, we have about 5 new ideas in partial demo form that we're kind of working on. So I think the big obstacle is we got to get a space here, and then getting a space. I mean, I don't even know what that looks like anymore. And, like we were able to practice at 704. I mean, I haven't had a practice space in the city since, I can't even remember, like the Egg. Did you ever go to the Egg Room?
Where was that?
Oh my God, dude. It's like Seattle history.
Where was the Egg Room?
Above Graceland.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever go there? Did
Yeah.
you ever see the Egg? Because I heard they tore the Egg out and they still called it the Egg.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about. I went to some after hours parties. For a while, there were after hours parties there. I think
Yeah.
it was sort of like during the Graceland period.
So Pretty Girls practiced. We heard about this room, these apartments above Graceland that had a giant egg. And so the apartment was hollowed out, like drywall was pulled off. And inside, they had busted through the wall of 2 apartments. There was an entire white igloo, like massive white igloo with like an opening, and you go in, and it was like this giant white domed room in the middle of this apartment, right? And it was like, what the hell? So Jason, who was booking Graceland, he was in Hint Hint at the time,
Yeah.
and they were practicing it. So we shared the space with them. And to pay rent, we would have after hours parties.
Yeah.
And so we'd bring booze in there, and then they would have a DJ in the Egg, so you could dance inside the Egg. And then the rest of this hollowed out, decrepit old apartment above Graceland, we'd have booze on the other side. And that's how we paid the rent for them. For like, I mean, we wrote Pretty Girls wrote our second album there. So I want to say it had to have been at least a year that we were there. But then I heard they tore out the Egg, and then still had parties after we moved out.
Who would tear out the Egg?
I mean, it's madness. If you would have saw this thing, oh, it was so cool.
And then I feel like I heard that like they condemned those places up there or something. Like it got weird.
I'm sure.
That building,
Dude, that building was gnarly. Like it was, it
Still
seemed like you
gnarly.
could fall through the floor. There were parts of it where it definitely felt like that.
I mean, yeah. What a crazy! I mean, I played some of my first shows there at the off ramp,
Oh yeah.
and you know, it had that's the oldest cabaret, because I think it was a cabaret back in the day. Like Quincy Jones played there.
That's wild.
I think Hendrix played there. Like all these legends played there. Ray Charles and all like that's all this. It was like a jazzy dinner club or something way back in the day.
And then it was off ramp.
I'm
What
sure
was
it
it
was
between
something in
off ramp and
between.
Graceland?
That'd be a hard transition.
Yeah. I never went when it was off ramp.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh God, they would do these terrible plates of food before and after, and I'll get it wrong, and I'm sure someone will correct me. But there was like the nosh before the mosh and hash after the bash, and so there was
that
like
their slogan?
that was the name, and it was just like whatever the hash was. So it's like some whatever grilled up slop, and everyone was wasted. I did a lot of drinking back then, so yeah, it might have been $1 or $2 at the most. It wasn't very much money. Someone will know, and they'll tell us.
Wow.
People like to tell us. But yeah, that was one of the main things. But also, that was a time when every club in Seattle there was at least some people in it every night, no matter who was playing.
Yeah.
And
remember the Color Box?
of course.
Dude, we would go, that's the only place Dead Moon would play. So we would always have to go to the fucking Color Box in Pioneer Square to see Dead Moon.
It's the only place they would play?
For I would say like for a 4-year period when they played Seattle, they played the Color Box. I think it's because they paid really well. It must be. Right. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
I saw Kevin Seconds there.
No, I bet that was awesome.
It was rad.
Yeah, I played there once. I had a really weird when I worked when I wasn't yet 21, and I was either in Area 51 or the Death Wish Kids. I can't remember, but one of the dancers at my work's partner needed a bass player, and they were backing this woman named Lorraine. I want to say it's Lorraine Lewis. She was from Los Angeles. She was part of the LA glam scene, moved to Seattle, had a band called Love Lowell, and they needed a bass player. So it was like, you can make $100, you can go to these bars, but they only did the Pioneer Square circuit. So it was like Phoenix Underground.
They paid, wait a minute, they paid you $100 for your gig in 1994?
Yeah.
I mean, that was, my rent was $200.
Dude, yeah. No, it was, it was incredible. So I had to sometimes I would have to wait outside, but not often. Like, it didn't last long. I think that it was a weird fit. They had like this kid.
Yeah. But you were tall, so you have this like...
Aesthetically, it was very different,
right?
Than what they were looking for. Because it was like at the time it was like that 90s sort of pop that, but it was cool. I mean, it was a cool experience because it was like, being able to play in bars and get free drinks and actually like someone hands me a paycheck, like, oh my God.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I'll assume that no, you don't, like you say you're done touring, but
I mean, like, I can't say that. I mean, I don't tour right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, who knows? It's like, I think that you can't ever really, like, I can't say that because I play music and I still actively write music. And so it's like, I can't say that I'm not. Will I go on a 5-week tour? 100% no. Like, no way. 0 chance. Not going to happen. But as far as just like touring to support music, like I actually can't make such a definitive, like, no.
Do you think you have another band in you?
I mean, that's a tough one. Like I would love to play with different people. I think
Right.
it'd be cool to like when I say different, just like different. I would really like to sometime be um, to back someone in a way that like
Be a bass player.
yeah, to be a bass player, like because I write, you know what I mean, and I have a very strong, I think, opinion of structure and writing, and it's like that's I would say like it would be neat to like go into with someone else's songs and just be like kind of like find a place to put things in their structure, and because I haven't done that before, so I think that would be
It's pretty fun.
yeah, it seems like it would be yeah yeah
It's pretty, you know what? It's less, I mean, it's less pressure in many ways and like more pressure in other ways. You know what? It's where the, what's scale of 1 to 10. It's where that comes from,
uh,
really, you know?
yeah yeah yeah. I've never been in that kind of band. I've always been a writer, so
Right.
it's it would be I think that would be a neat thing to try.
Maybe you start a peninsula band,
You never know.
right?
You never know. Yeah.
There's a lot of folks out there, right?
There is a lot of people out there. I haven't met very many.
Yeah.
Um,
How far are you from Port Townsend?
far.
Oh, an hour.
About an hour. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's far.
It's far. Yeah.
Did you say close to Port Orchard?
Yeah, we're basically Port Orchard. We're kind of like right on the outskirts of Port Orchard.
Oh, so not even far from Port Orchard is where Tony Reed lives, right? Do you know Tony Reed?
Mm-mm.
You should know Tony Reed.
Okay.
Yeah. Tony
Tony
Reed has a
Reed?
band called Moss Generator. He's in Pentagram. He's rad. He's got a studio there. He's a
In Port
killer.
Orchard?
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have this wrong,
Yeah.
but I think Port Orchard.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, what do you have planned for the year? This is the new year. I'm gonna let you go soon, I promise.
um, I think that we got a new cat that I'm pretty excited about.
Nice.
Um,
What's the cat's name?
okay, so let me just take you on a little journey.
Let's go.
Okay, we live where we live, like we're there's no streetlights. We're up
Yeah.
against the forest. Like it's pretty out there. So you don't typically see stray animals, right? Like it's also there's a hell of a lot of
Coyotes,
predators. There's yeah, dude, eagles.
Yeah,
Like the
eagles,
eagles
hawks,
fly around and pick
yeah.
up little animals. We lost our cat, and right around the same time, this super skinny black cat with like fur missing started showing up like in our yard, and we would like leave food out, but she was like terrified. She wouldn't, she'd wait till we went inside, come and eat, and but come every day. And we were like, what? What is like
What's going on here?
this is crazy for there to be a stray cat out here. So Andrea reaches out on like a Facebook group, like, hey,
Community
there's this
thing.
there's this community group. She's like, hey, there's this does anyone know anything about this cat? Like she seems like she's in pretty bad shape. I want to like get her, and we want to like take her to the vet and see. And someone pipes in and like, oh, that's not a stray cat, that's my cat, and I don't know why she looks so bad. And we're just all, I mean, it's like,
Little suspect.
it's a little bit of a red flag. But she's like, she's an outdoor cat, and she doesn't she only comes in when it's cold. This is in the summer. She only comes in when it's cold, and like don't like she's just, don't worry about her, she's fine. We're like, okay, it's a little bit weird, but this cat now is like, we've made contact, so now she's not afraid of us, and now she's like coming up, and she's adorable, and she starts to like, her fur grows back, she starts to gain weight, she like is becoming like healthy, and we're feeding her every day. And we noticed one morning, like we have a camera on our deck, and we noticed that at like 10 p.m. she gets in a chair, and then she leaves at 6 a.m. And then I'm like, oh, she's sleeping on our deck, just like just like a raw dogging it on a chair in the
Right.
back. And so we kind of make her like a bed and kind of like put some stuff in there. And then she starts sleeping in the bed. And then it's like, okay, kind of crossing a line, maybe not. I don't know. It really is weird that our Frankie Rigatoni was the cat that passed, and she was a Bombay, and this one's a Bombay. It's really wild to have this sort of like happen at the exact same time. And not saying that it's Frankie Rigatoni reincarnated, but I'm also not saying that. But so like this goes on. Finally, we have like this massive storm, and we have it's like fucking 100-foot of old growth. Like those branches fall, like
Sure.
they're deadly. So like we have this crazy storm, and it's just like gnarly outside, and so we let her in, and it's the first time we let the cat in, and she just like makes herself at home. And so like all of a sudden now but like we let her out in the morning. And
She's
like,
no stranger to comforts.
Yeah, we're letting her out in the morning. She's coming in at night. Let her out in the morning, and then it's starting to feel like, oh, okay, this is weird. Like I feel like we need to like we're kind of like now
reach out to those people.
We need to reach out to those people. And long story short, weather's changed. We went out of town. We're not going to leave her in our house, obviously. And we just assumed she goes home because we thought she was going home during the day. She's just not leaving. She's just like at our house every day.
You can see
we're
it
not
on
there.
your
We
camera.
can see her, and she's crying, and it's just like, this is brutal. So we reached out to the lady, and we're just like, hey, this cat's coming visiting. She's crying at our door. She wants to come in. And the lady's like, you guys can have her if you want her. Like, we haven't seen her in 4 months. And like, she can't come in the house because we have a dog. We're like,
oh.
So we actually went home early, got the cat. And so now we have it, and we put in a door so the cat can like come and go, and
So did the cat have a name before?
It did. The cat's name's Midnight, but she's not a Midnight. Like I think that like.
So did you name her?
Well,
Rename her?
right now Lucia Pecorino is the front runner, but this is all new. This is all playing out in real time.
All the names here in this big conversation are really like they're like
there's a pattern
they're
there.
like characters in a movie.
Yeah. Well, you need a name,
Including
and then you need
the
a name of a
guitars.
pasta or a cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how's the cat doing?
She's doing great, dude. I mean, we like there was she can come and go now. She clearly wants to be an indoor cat. Like she like doesn't leave now. Now she's just like hanging out, staring at us.
And what happens when you guys travel?
Well, this just happened, but we put in a pet door, so she's free to come and go. And then we already had one of those, like we got, because when we went out of town, we feed her every day, so we got one of those like electric feeders.
Yeah.
And you just have to battle when we first got it, there's this raccoon that shows up every day.
Oh, sure.
And dude, this thing like took the feeder and threw it down the stairs.
The raccoon did.
Break it open to like get all the food. Yeah.
And so does the cat have some kind of a garage door opener on her collar?
No, she can just come through. Yeah.
What about the raccoon?
No, raccoon gonna do it. It's on the back. It won't come up there. I mean, could be. We could run into this issue, but I don't think we will. She's also like she's a murderer. She shows up. The cat is a murderer. Yeah, she shows up with like all kinds of rodents.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I just wanted to share that with you. I think that was an important. I think we should have started with that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You're a nurturer.
Yes.
So you have nurturing in 2026.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's funny too because I think my mom. Well, I don't think, but it's my mom. I told her that whole story, and then she called me the next day and was like, that's the soul of your other cat in that cat. And she just jumped in. I was like, I can't argue with it.
Could do.
You never know.
What was the time period?
There was a little bit of crossover.
There was crossover.
There was a little bit of crossover, yeah.
Do you think that the wild cat had been observed? Like, did your cat go inside, outside?
No,
No.
no.
Huh.
No. I
Did
mean,
you ever
it's not.
see?
The thing that sucks is she's on borrowed time out there. Like
Yeah.
there coyotes. Like you just see them, and then you hear about
Yeah.
shit getting snatched up. And
Well, however morbid it might be, like I have 2 dogs, and I walk my dogs a couple times a day, big long walks, and sometimes I'm gonna come off like a real softie. I'll almost start crying because I'll imagine my little dog like running out in the woods and getting chased down by some kind of thing.
dude, that's horrible.
Well, like they used to be able to run around,
Yeah.
and I have 2 dogs, one medium and one small, and they killed a groundhog once. They went after it and killed it, and it fucked Rosie up. It like ripped her chest open. It was the day before I was leaving on tour, so I was at the overnight vet. It was a whole thing, but they killed this thing.
Oof.
You know what a ground like they have claws
dude.
and
They put
it's
up a fight.
gnarly.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Not interested in dying.
Yeah.
But like so, I think any animal not every animal, but my animals want to run amok, and I feel badly. So I'm walking around and I'm like, I gotta get these guys out running in the woods somewhere. They love it so much. And then I'll imagine all the terrible things that could happen. And I have to, like, I usually will get on the phone and just start talking to someone to distract myself from it. It's just terrible. Gross.
That's gross.
Well,
I mean,
death comes for all of us.
ugh.
But I don't want to get gotten by a wolf either.
There's worse ways to go.
Like what?
I mean, I don't know. There is. I don't want to. This is gonna take a turn.
I don't know, man. Like I don't want to talk about it either. I don't want to talk about it either. Yeah, I gotta say, after knowing you since I was 20.
Are we the same age?
I'm 54.
Okay. I'm a little bit younger.
Yeah. So I was 22, 23 when I was working down there. I mean, I worked there off and on and for a long time, but knowing you for this long, and not like never knowing you super well, but always friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been really cool to watch you do your thing and be, for all intents and purposes, like we both know a lot of people who are really good at music and have tried, hard, and it doesn't happen. Like some people figure out how to make it work and some people don't. And it seems like you've always figured out how to make it work. And it's inspiring and it's cool to see, and I'm glad.
Well, it's nice of you to say.
Driven.
I feel the same thing. Like I especially now with like social media, being able to see when you did Peter Hook, I was just like,
you're like, how did that asshole get that gig?
No, dude, I was so psyched, and then I just wanted to I think I actually hadn't talked to you in a long time, and I think I texted you those are the best bass lines in the world.
Yeah.
Or those are the best bass lines of all. So I said something along those lines where I was like, dude, you get to play all of that? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the trick is don't quit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Even when it's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Because other than the frustration you had in the bunks, we skipped a lot. We skipped a lot of the frustrating parts, which there are many.
Yeah.
It's not an easy life to choose.
No, it's not at all. But it's I think that when you say don't quit, I think that there's not, no matter what, the life that whether it chose you, you chose it, whatever. You don't really have that option. Like, it's always going to be there. You're always going to hear something, and it's going to be the fucking best thing you've ever heard, and you're going to obsess about it, and you know what I mean? It's going to
Yeah.
make you want to write. It's going to make you want to play, and it's like, that's like that has never gone away. You know what I mean? Like, that hit me like at a way early age, and like through everything and all. It just does, like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like, I'll always have that, because I think that, you know, the best way that I can look at it is like people in my family who, they have that with other things.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They have that with like my brother loves guns. You know what I mean? Like, and he like anything sort of like gun, that's like music, he'd give a shit. Like, whatever's on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, maybe
Yeah.
song, but like something like having whatever that passion is. Like, I feel like,
Is he still in Fresno?
music specific. My brother?
Yeah.
No. But I think music specific. No, I don't have any connection to Fresno anymore. My mom moved back to the East Coast, and so there's no reason to go back to Fresno, which is really nice, because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That's a rough spot. That's
Yeah,
a rough spot to be a kid.
It's no Merced.
Dude. Also, wait, you're not from Merced, are you?
Dude, I'm from Concord.
No. Wait, why'd you bring up Merced?
Because
that's also a rough spot.
I know, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
my first out of town show ever, Modesto.
Is that right?
Yeah. From Fresno.
What was that car jingle? The car dealership jingle that you would name off, and they had a chain of dealerships, and they would rattle off the names of all the places. Modesto, Cupertino, San Jose, or whatever.